Hello Unlockers. Today we're going to talk about how to plan when you're feeling overwhelmed. So I know that planning can feel really overwhelming for ADHDers in general. It might be quite a triggering idea or concept for a lot of us. We often go down rabbit holes of creating these really overcomplicated systems of planning that don't work for us, or maybe hyper-focusing on a tool of planning that we then quickly abandon because we put way too much pressure on ourselves for it to be perfect. If we feel overwhelmed about planning, what we need to do, I think, which is the main issue, is meet ourselves where we are and not expect too much of ourselves. So today what I'm going to do is try and share some short prompts or questions with you that you can ask yourself in the beginning of your day when you're feeling overwhelmed about the idea of daily planning. And then also perhaps write down an answer to help you process and set intention, although this isn't mandatory. I would suggest if you're feeling overwhelmed even by that idea that you just ask yourself the question and see what comes up for you and have a think about it. Main key of this is to help you get a bit clearer on what you actually want your day to look like in a way that is much less overwhelming than an entirely new planner or an entirely new planning system or a lengthy, boring to-do list that dictates your day. So have a listen to the questions I'm going to give you and then see what resonates for you or what sticks, and maybe over the next few days pick one and then use it at the beginning of the day and see how that goes and if it makes a difference for you. So the first question is, what can I get excited about today? Often with ADHD we're so hell-bent on trying to get the endless, really boring to-do list done that we forget to actually give ourselves the fuel in order to be able to do the things. And things that excite us give us that fuel, that dopamine, that energy. So it's important to have a think about that. The next thing is, what about the day ahead makes me feel inspired? What inspires you? What tickles the novelty bit of your brain or the creativity bit of your brain? Again, this is fuel for ADHD. It's giving us dopamine so that we can do the things that we need to do that are maybe not as interesting. What's one kind thing that I can do today for myself or maybe for others? I don't think we offer ourselves enough compassion given how much we struggle and how many challenges we have, and also doing stuff for other people can make us feel good as well. So maybe you want to do both or maybe just want to do one, but that can definitely help you to approach the things that are a bit more difficult about your day. What can I do today to feel proud of myself? We don't give ourselves enough credit for the struggles that we have. Maybe just getting out of bed feels like it's something to feel proud of today. Or maybe it's something bigger like going for a job interview or even applying for a job. It could be anything in between. It's whatever applies to you personally to make you feel proud of yourself. By the end of today, what can and will I do to make my life a tiny bit better than it was this morning? I love this question because it sets up a very clear measurement for success, which we often struggle to do because we've got so many things going on. But if you can just do one tiny thing to make your life better today than it was yesterday, or today than it was this morning, by the end of the day, that seems quite clear and simple. Who do I want to connect with today? People lift us up. So who are your favourite people? Who fans your flame? Can you make space for connecting with those people or that person today? What things do I want to do less often? I know this is maybe something we don't really want to think about, and maybe it was easier to answer these more positive questions, but was there something that you did yesterday that you're like, I'm not going to do that today? I'm going to set the intention to not do that. Maybe you let yourself get really dehydrated. This is something that I do. And then got loads of brain fog, and then that made you struggle with the things you had to do that were difficult. Maybe today you want to keep that water bottle in sight and in mind so that doesn't happen. How can I be aligned with my core values today? Maybe you don't know what your core values are, and that's okay. I can give you some examples, but it might also be worth referring to your core values test, taking one if you haven't taken one, or referring back to it if you already have taken one. But here are some examples that might spark your interest. So you might be a generous person, you might have a value of fairness, creativity, love of learning, adventure, friendship. Are there things that you can do in your day that reflect those core values? And then similar kind of thing with this question, how can I use my core strengths today? Some examples might be leadership, humour, spirituality. If you're interested, go and take the core strengths test online, or just intuitively have a think about what you are good at, and is there something that you can do during your day that you are good at to boost you and make you feel like you can do the things that maybe are a little bit more tricky. And then lastly, what one thing will make today feel more successful than yesterday? Really clear, easy measurement of success. So I hope that those questions were helpful for you and make you feel less overwhelmed about the idea of planning. You don't have to create an entirely new system for yourself right now, today. I know we have this all or nothing mentality, but really it often holds us back. So I encourage you to consider using just one of these questions over the next few days and see if it makes any difference. And please do let us know if it worked for you.